Masterclass, and we're going to be talking about TikTok growth tactics for beauty business owners. I'm so glad you guys are here. And yeah, I think I'm going to wait for maybe another 2 to 3 minutes before we start, just to let some minutes before we start, just to let some minutes before we start, just to let some minutes before start, just to let some minutes before start, just to let some minutes before start, just to can you guys hear me? 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 Can you guys Hi guys, can you hear me? I hope that you can all hear me. I'm not too sure what happened the last time, but welcome to our first YouTube Masterclass Live. And this is going to be a series of masterclasses that I'm going to give for free to people who own businesses in different sectors and different industries. I decided to start this masterclass session with a conversation for people who own businesses in the beauty space, because I think that's a really wonderful space to grow your business online. It's got all of the touch points that you need in order to thrive online. So I thought, if we're going to start this masterclass session, we're going to start it with the beauty side. Welcome. It's great to see some familiar faces. I know you guys think I don't know you, but I actually know some of your handles from how you're commenting on TikTok and Instagram. So welcome. I actually want to start a poll before we get into this live. Aus Z says there's something wrong with your sound. Oh, you can hear me now. Wonderful. Bulawayo wedding photographers is here. Aus Z is here. Hazel Mutileni is here. Setu Mehana, hello. Guys, hello. Let me know in the comments section where you are. Where are you coming from? And tell us what your business is. You never know. There could be somebody who wants to collaborate with you in the community. There could be somebody, who could use your service, or somebody who you can do things with. So please, tell us who you are in the comments section. Tell us what your business is. And Dogozo, hello. She says, so happy to be here. Zanita says, we can hear you now. Wonderful, because you need to hear me. That's the point of this masterclass. And I have to say this. You guys are on this journey with me, and I'm so privileged to be able to do this with you. I call you guys the disruptors because you're first in line to try new things. You're first in line to get on the train when somebody says, let's go, let's build, let's do something. And that is the spirit of Alliance. So well done to you guys. This is how you grow your businesses. This is how you make big things happen, right? It starts like this. So well done. Thank you for coming, Homozo. Welcome. She says she's Pretoria, up and coming makeup artist. Wonderful, actually, The makeup business is a really exciting business. Being an MUA is one of the most viral, I think, careers right now. It's growing. The industry is growing. It's produced the most Black female self-made millionaires, the makeup industry. And most of those ladies came from being makeup artists first before they started opening their own beauty brands. So you guys are in the right space. The beauty space has a lot of money, and you can easily create a million rand, multi-million rand business from B2C sales. So that's why this industry is so lucrative. That's why you're seeing so many brands investing in it, because there is that much money and there's so much runway and infrastructure that's already been created in the system that allows you to sell your beauty business really well. I'm also going to see some other people's comments. Auzi says, Malebu Dikobe, and I'm a makeup artist, aspiring wig specialist. Okay. Mavis says, hi everyone, Nunu from Polokwane, running an energy consulting company. Okie dokie. Zandile says, Johannesburg makeup artist. I also sell strip lashes. My business name is Inkosikati Beauty. I have a YouTube channel, Inkosikati Beauty, and I can't wait to learn today. Lovely. Volumes Beauty says, I'm Volumes Beauty, and I'm a makeup artist, and I've been in the industry for over 4 years now. That's a long, long, long time. Guys, I hope you're seeing people's comments because they're people you can collaborate with, people you can work with, and I'm happy about this. Nondumiso says, hope I'm not too late. We've just started. Trust me, we have not even gone into how to grow on TikTok. Stephanie Leopepe says, I'm a virtual assistant, work in social media management, and I'm happy to be here. Welcome, Steph. Lovely, lovely, love to see you. Nolwazi says, hi, Lebo. I'm an aspiring content creator. Love it. Mbaliti Sioka says, Mbali here, so excited to be here. I've just opened a nail salon after being a nail tech since 2010. I train new nail techs and now offer nail tech internships. Wow. Guys, I could read all of your descriptions. It's so lovely to see the diverse careers and professions that we're seeing in this live. I'm very happy to see it. But let's get into it because we don't have a lot of time. I want to make sure that we end this live at 7 p.m. so that you can go and do what you need to do and possibly even implement the tips that I've given you. So I'm just going to get my notepad quickly for you so that we can be on the same page and keep time. This live is specifically designed for people who want to learn how to grow their businesses in the beauty sector, in the beauty industry. The beauty industry is a billion-dollar industry. There's a lot of money and there are a lot of opportunities to unearth in that industry. So if you're in that industry, be optimistic, right? If you're not seeing what you want to see, it really does require you just to make one little pivot and one little change, and you will actually be able to 10x your sales, get more customers, build a brand, all of those lovely things that happen when your business finally finds its rhythm. So let's get into it. TikTok for your business. First of all, and this will probably be a poll that I'll do, is TikTok a great tool to grow your beauty business? That is my question for you guys. Is TikTok a great tool to grow your beauty business? And I'm asking this question, even though it would seem like a duh question. There are so many people out there, right? I have consulted for over 4,000 business people, over 4,000 easily. And a lot of them, while they may see that TikTok is a popular platform, they don't actually value it as a business tool. So a lot of them will say, TikTok is just for kids to dance and share memes and share jokes, or, just for entertainment, but it's not for business. If you have that mindset, I would like you to discard it right now. We are living in a digital world. If you do not understand that anybody who's not online does not exist, then you're not understanding where the future is going. Technology is evolving. People are becoming digital citizens on a daily basis. More and more citizens around the world are becoming digital adopters. And chances are, if you're selling something in a space like beauty, that is not necessarily a necessary purchase, right? It could be it's a luxury purchase in some places, but it's not an emergency purchase. It's not a purchase that if you don't have it, you're going to die or something bad's going to happen in your life, right? So this really is a lifestyle thing, which means that the chances that your audience or your prospective customer is a digital citizen are very high. They probably have a job, they probably have a phone, they probably know how to use their phone, they probably have social media platforms. So you don't want to sleep on the online landscape because your customers are there. In the beauty space, your customers are going to be there. They probably know how to buy products and services online already, right? And they've been exposed to what you sell through traditional media and through new media. So don't undermine them. They know the online space. They use it. They dwell on it. And they are there. So you have to see social media as a business tool. And I'm so glad that a lot of you are saying, yes, TikTok is a business tool. But why TikTok? Why didn't I say, guys, let me teach you how to grow your beauty business on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram? Because TikTok is the fastest growing social media platform right now in the world. And not only that, but it's one of the best, if not the best, social media tools right now for conversion of sales and to build community rapidly, right? Other platforms take a little bit longer than TikTok. And also, you can grow to about 500K followers on TikTok without ever paying for advertising. So it really is social media the way it was intended to be. And because it's still a relatively new platform, they prioritize organic growth over a lot of things, which means that it's easier for you to get customers and to grow without paying for the growth and the organic customers. And that's very important, because as business owners, we don't want to spend all of our money on advertising, especially if we don't know how advertising works, because that can be a waste. And that's actually one of the ways that Facebook makes a lot of their money. They leverage on the fact that people don't know how to create Facebook ads, and so they're going to just keep putting money in and money in and money in, not seeing results, and they're going to feel like they're the failures because it looks like the platform is making it easy for them, when actually that is not the case. So don't fall into the trap of ads. Before we go into how to grow on TikTok, please know that I am a fan of organic growth. I do not believe that businesses should be paying for ads on social media. I think that if you're paying for ads and it's not a deliberate campaign that you're running, you're wasting your money, and you're probably doing it because you're desperate to get followers and desperate to get customers. And I'm sure a lot of you who have tried using ads have not won from the ads. Let me know in the comment section below, has using ads in the beginning helped you win? Did you use ads because you were desperate to get followers, or did you use ads because you had a specific reason to use them? That you had a campaign that you were rolling out and you just wanted to amplify the campaign? Let me know. But if you're using ads to grow your community, I think you're wasting your money and your time. So let's get into, how do you grow on TikTok? The first thing we have to understand as business owners is that TikTok is a search engine, right? The same way that Google is a search engine, TikTok is a search engine. What does that mean if you are a business owner? It means that your customers are going onto TikTok and searching for the things that they want. So they will go on and say, natural makeup look in the search bar, and then look at the videos that are showing that. They'll say, lipstick for dark skin, foundation for light skin. They're actually using TikTok as if it were Google. People are saying literally that TikTok is replacing Google as a search engine, because more people are starting to search on TikTok instead of Google. Which means what? If people are searching on something, and something is a search engine, I need you guys to think of this in mind. Put this in mind. SEO, search engine optimization. What does that mean? It sounds like a very complicated word, but it's very simple. It means, how do you optimize the search engine that people are using to find your product or services? In this case, it would be, your SEO would be, how do you optimize TikTok so that people who are looking for you on TikTok can find you? Well, lovely. This is something that you have to keep in mind when you're creating content. Because if you're not thinking about optimization, then you're not positioning yourself in a way that allows people to find you, right? And you're online to sell something, which means that you're online to be found. You're online to connect with your ideal customer so that you can make a sale, essentially, and build community eventually. So you have to start thinking, what is my TikTok SEO, search engine optimization? How would I optimize my TikTok? So we start with the basics. First of all, and I know people think this is so simple, but it's not that easy. Your profile picture. So many people are missing out on sales and customers simply because they have a profile picture that does not suit what they're offering. When people search on TikTok and they're looking for businesses to work with, or they're looking for products to buy, the profile picture is one of the first things that they look for in order to assess if it's a page that they're going to click on, or if they're just going to keep scrolling past the video, or if they're going to view the video in the search bar, but they're not going to click into the video to go onto the page. So your profile picture acts like a conversion tool. It allows people to not only see you, but actually click on the video they're seeing in the search feed so that they can go onto your page, which is where you want them. If people are only seeing you on the search feed and then they're not clicking, then you are drowning in the noise of competition. You don't want that. You want to be on your own with your customer. You want to be able to influence them and have a one-on-one interaction with them. So you want them to click on your video from the search feed and go onto your page where they're only seeing your videos and not competitor videos. So your profile picture has to make sense. I would highly recommend that if you are a business person or your page is a business page, that you actually have your logo as the business profile picture. And if this is the case, then you have to make sure your logo is attractive, simple to see, and clickable. A lot of people have complicated logos, and I think it's because they're trying to cut costs, or they're asking people who don't know how to create logos to create logos for them. But guys, go onto Canva. That is one of the simplest solutions I can give you. Go to Canva. When you are on Canva, literally type in the search bar on Canva, beauty business logo. You can even take it a step further and go beauty business logo for TikTok. Trust me when I say Canva will give you the results that you're looking for. And when you get those logos, those templates that it gives you, please do not be overly creative with the templates. Put your logo within, maybe put your colors if your colors make sense, but respect the kind of way that Canva has designed it, because they're doing it because they know it works. If you're not a graphic designer, don't try to be one, right? Canva's great because they've basically done the thinking for you. All you have to do is plug your brand into the templates that they have. So go to Canva. You don't have to overthink it. Search beauty business logo. When you are done, insert your logo or your brand into whichever logo you like, and then download it and use it on your TikTok. I highly recommend using attractive colors. I highly recommend keeping it as simple as possible. Don't have too much writing, don't have too much anything, because if you do that, people can't really see it when they're searching for you. That's the first thing, your profile picture. Second thing, your hashtags. A lot of entrepreneurs are not utilizing hashtags. And I keep saying to you, your hashtags can actually be a saving grace for you, especially when you're just starting to grow your page. As you get bigger, the hashtags become less important, but they still work. But when you're starting or when you're not seeing growth on TikTok, you need to be using hashtags. What are hashtags? Hashtags are like mini communities, right? So if I say hashtag dark lip, that hashtag dark lip, if you click on it, and I encourage you guys, click on the hashtags. If you see yourself when you're creating a post and then you put a hashtag and then you see a number next to that hashtag, that number indicates how many people are creating videos in that hashtag, which is also an indication of how many people are viewing in that hashtag, which is why we say use hashtags, because you are optimizing your SEO by plugging into the communities that are specifically looking for the thing that you're doing. So if one of your hashtags is hashtag dark lip, and then the number says 20,000, that's a beautiful number. That means that there are 20,000 people creating videos about this, and there are 20,000 people looking, because whoever's creating is also looking, but their customers are also looking. So you guys are in that ecosystem. All of you are being seen in that. 20,000 is a great number because it's not too big, but it's also not too small. And you have to look at this as an opportunity to be amongst your competitors and be seen by people who are looking for that thing that you're all selling. So use the relevant hashtags. And I always recommend a mix of hashtags. You want the big ones. You want the FYPs, for you page, right? You want those because it gives you a greater chance at virality, because you're landing in a bigger pool. When you see FYP page, you'll usually see huge numbers, like 100 million, That means that you're in a huge community. You want that. It gives you an opportunity to go more viral, right? Just by virtue of numbers. That's it. It's a chance. It doesn't mean you will, it's a chance. Then you want to mix some of those viral hashtags, those big ones, with the smaller ones, with the 3,000 people hashtags, with the 20,000 people hashtags. Because when you are seen in a smaller environment, chances of you being actually seen by your ideal customer are much higher. The clickability is much higher, so the rate at which they will click on your content is much more possible and likely, because they don't have so much content to wade through as the viewer. And so the likelihood of getting a follower or even getting a sale and interest is much higher, because you're in a smaller subset. And sometimes in smaller subsets, you could get 1,000 people reposting whatever you've posted, and then that puts you in the FYP space. So use your hashtags. I know this might sound overly technical, but it works. use your hashtags. Your hashtags are another great SEO optimization tool, search engine optimization tool. Remember, TikTok is a search engine. If you don't believe me, use a hashtag in one of your posts. And when you're done posting, go to Google and search for whatever it is you posted in that hashtag. Trust me when I say it can also pop up on Google's SEO. So SEO is not just platform specific. A lot of the time, you will find that whatever's trending on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter will also find its way onto Google. So you're optimizing your chances of being found across the spectrum on the digital space by using your hashtags and optimizing your SEO. So now we've covered your profile picture has to be great. Your hashtags have to be great. So this person is in the search feed. They are looking for hashtag dark lip. They see your page, they see other pages, they see it's got a beautiful logo, then they see all these great hashtags and they click on your video. Now, a lot of people think, and this is one of the myths, that they need to have a professional video in order for their videos to be viral or for people to like them. That is not the case. But what you do need is a video that is clear, right? It needs to be clear. I'm recording my video at nighttime. I'm using the light in my house, but I'm clear. You can see my face. That's all you need. People just have to be able to see you. If people can't see you and it's not clear, then it becomes very hard for people to want to click on your video, because when it competes against other videos on the search feed, it's not showing up, it's not popping, you know. So you want your video to be clear. If you can afford to have use equipment like lighting and cameras, go ahead. But honestly, if you've got an iPhone, use cinematic mode. Get some good lighting in your house, in your office, and you're good to go. To be honest with you, it's that simple. And I don't recommend people using fancy equipment in the beginning, because I think that is a barrier to creation. Content creation is difficult. If you've never created content before, it becomes overwhelming and it becomes hard to think of and to start doing. Some people are even scared of showing up. So if you have to also learn how to use equipment and all of these things, I think it disheartens you and disincentivizes you from actually just starting or consistently creating. So I say, do the bare minimum where content creation is concerned. Use the least amount of equipment you can use. Make the process so simple for you that you can do it almost anywhere, anytime. That's how it should be for you creating your TikTok videos. Unless you have a strategy where your whole thing is, I'm a high-end makeup brand and we only produce for cinematic videos and then that's different. You've got the budget, you've got everything, you can move. But if you don't, I would highly recommend making content creation as simple as possible for you. Rather buy a phone that has great quality than go and invest in all of the stuff, cameras and whatever. It's not necessary. You're wasting your time. You're making it harder for you to create content. You're going to lose hope. You won't want to be there. It doesn't make any sense. And I've been doing this thing for 7 years now, and I still don't like using equipment. If I had to show you my office, I've got 5 mics. I've got 3 cameras. I've got a lot of equipment. But I find that I get bored having to set things up. I find that I'm not interested in putting that much effort into creating a video, because when information hits me, I just want to share. So I feel like I should just be able to share. And that's why I do my videos in this style, because this works for me. And that's how I've been able to grow my TikTok account, because I am just creating when I want to, and I'm able to be consistent because I don't have to do too much. I just have to open my phone and start recording. Another thing that I find a lot of people in the beauty space struggle to do is they want to be perfect when they show up online. So they want to have the makeup on. They want to have the hair done on fleek. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that, because it's not necessary if that's not something that you naturally do. If it's not something you naturally do, do not do it. Now, this sounds like crazy advice. So then what do you do if that's not what you naturally do, but you're in an aesthetic industry? Great question. Guys, the key to content creation is authenticity. I know we've heard this a million times. I'm sure some of you are even rolling your eyes and saying, oh God, authenticity, what is authenticity? Don't worry, I've got you. Authenticity is being able to do things in a way that creates momentum for you, in a way that is easy for you, in a way that is relatable for you and through you. Right. What does that mean? It means that if you are a storyteller, tell stories on your page. You don't have to be like the girlies who are naturally aesthetic. They are aesthetic because that is their strong point. But people don't just buy makeup and hair and beauty services for aesthetics. Sometimes they buy it because it looks like the experience at the salon is really nice, right? Sometimes they buy it because the owner has so much personality and they'd love to go and meet the owner. Sometimes they buy it because they see techniques that are being used that they aren't being used by somebody else. Sometimes they love your brand because you make them laugh and you're always telling stories. So each brand has its own unique proposition from a content perspective, and you need to unearth your brand's unique proposition. You must not try to be like other people because that is where you will lose. You will be frustrated. You're going to lose money. People aren't going to believe you. It's just going to be a very boring process for you. And because creating online is a lifetime thing, you don't create and get to 1 million and then you're done. Guys, you create forever. For as long as you want your brand to exist, you create. And contrary to popular belief, even when you create and you get to, let's say, 1 million, and now you've got a social media team, guess what? You still have to go and check that they're doing the things that work for your brand. So the creation process never ends. You never get to be hands off completely. You always have to participate in it in one way, shape, or form. Which is why the growth of your page has to be organic. Right? It has to be authentic to how you do things. I love to speak, so I use my voice and my thoughts to grow my page online. I don't like to do aesthetic things. It's not my portion. I'm not interested in showing you guys videos of me waking up, taking a walk, going to my office. That doesn't work for me. So I don't do it. And therefore, I'm able to be consistent and frequent in my content creation. So I want you guys to think of that. How can I create content that is true to my abilities? That's true to my beliefs. That's true to my desires. It actually does start with you. You can't create content thinking about your customer first because you won't be able to keep supplying to them if you don't believe in how they want you to show up. So first, you must believe in how you want to show up and then get the market's, sentiment about whether or not how you're showing up works for them. Are we on the same page? So let's create this world where, okay, you've got a great logo, you're in the search feed, somebody's looking for a dark lip, they see your company logo, they see your hashtag looks great, your video looks clear, so they click on your video. You've got about 5 to 10 seconds to convince somebody to keep watching your video once they click on your video. So what do? How do you make sure that you retain their attention? This is where intros come in. This is where busyness comes in, and I'm calling it busyness just because I don't have another word for it right now. How are you introducing your videos? You don't have to be like me and say, hi guys, I'm Lebo Lion, the voice. No. In fact, if you guys actually view my videos, I don't introduce my videos that way. I introduce my videos with a catchy soundbite of what we're actually going to talk about. And then I introduce myself. Why? Because people are not going to care about me first. They're going to care about the content first. So that little snippet says to the person, this is why you should be interested in what I'm about to talk about. Then second, and then afterwards I say, and this is who I am. That validates that what I'm talking about makes sense. So let's put it in a beauty context. You want to sell a dark lip. Maybe it's dark lipstick for light-skinned people. I'll just use that example, right? So somebody's searching, they're looking for dark lips, dark lipstick shades for light-skinned people. So you will say, Are you struggling to find the right shade for your fair skin or something along those lines? And I mean, we have to be very careful when we're describing skin color. But you know, you have to say something like that first. And then you say, well, I've got the plug for you. Welcome to Nala's lipstick range. We help women who want to learn how to do makeup. Da, 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 da. That's how you do it. So a person knows, okay, this is who they are, this is what I'm getting, but they understand my problem first. Because without you understanding their problem first, they're not going to care who you are and what you can offer them. Does that make sense? And you don't always have to use your mouth to portray that. Sometimes what you can do is literally have a video of 3 shades of lipstick, let's say, right? And those, literally, you put them nicely, and then you say, lipstick shades for dark lip for light-skinned people. That's it. You didn't say anything, you just wrote something, you've got some lipsticks, they're looking cool, and that's how you start in your videos. There are many ways to start your videos. But if you're going to use your mouth, you're the founder, you want to be the face, and you're going to talk about it, this busyness thing that I just spoke about is very important. If you guys look at beauty vloggers' videos on TikTok, one thing will be very consistent with them. They're always busy doing something, right? So they'll have products around them and they'll say, oh, struggling to find the right shade for my lips, and I've got lunch at 5. And then they put on the earrings. Oh, guys, come join me as I look for the right shade. So I went to, and I couldn't find. Why are they busy? According to TikTok's report, last year's report on the success of content, they're finding that when somebody is busy doing things as they're talking to people, it retains people's attention, because not everybody might want or have the attention to listen to you speak the whole time. So what they do is first they hear you, and then maybe they see what you're doing. And then maybe they see something else that you're doing, and they're seeing all these things in your environment, and it stimulates their attention, so they stay on your video more. That's why you see so many people, they'll be holding things and you know, putting lotion on their hands and putting earrings on. Elsa Majimbo does it quite often, but a lot of beauty people are busy. That's what I call busyness, right? So you're creating an interesting visual that allows people's attention to stay even if they're not listening. And this is important because people don't necessarily think beauty, they experience beauty. So that's why beauty is a visual thing, which means that they're going to believe that your lipstick works by seeing it, not by you actually saying it, right? So your words aren't as important as the visuals you're showing as you're speaking, if you want to be speaking. But even if you're going to show visuals only and you don't really want to speak, or you want to do a voiceover, or you just want to do music and you're doing your makeup as you know, as people are watching, you have to make sure that you are acting out what you're doing. You know, you don't want to be boring about it. Wave at the people. Let me do a silent one for you quickly, just to give you a very easy example. You want to dramatize it. You know, you want to be cute about it, because people don't want to just watch you go, unless that is your brand. But if it's not, then dramatize it, guys. You're still acting. You don't have to use your words at all. You can literally just come, this is my lipstick. And then they show them, then you go. You know, be cute. Showcase your brand in a way that's exciting for people to see. You don't have to use words. That's the value of the beauty industry. You do not have to use your words to talk about your products. You can just show it, but then act it. You know what I mean? Zandile says, Sisayo act again. Lily says, please save this live. I definitely will save the live. So please remember, you are not the consumer of your brand. Other people are. They don't know how you started it. They don't know the story behind it. They know nothing. You need to entice them. So even though you might be giving them exactly what they want, they will compare you to other people who offer the same thing until you entice them. You have to think to yourself, how can I entertain my people, right? And don't copy other people because we're all different. You know, sometimes somebody or a brand that is not overtly cute will look really silly being cute. So how do you create interest when you are displaying your products? That's what you need to think about, and don't overthink it as well. I think a lot of people, what they don't realize is you need to experiment on your social media pages. Your TikTok is the same as a business. You have to try things until you get it right. And you're probably not going to get it right for the first 10 times that you try with your videos. So if you give up on the first try or you put too much effort in the first video, you're not going to be very happy and you're going to be disheartened and not want to continue to try to grow. And getting to your first 50K followers is probably the hardest journey. I'm telling you now. It's almost like TikTok does it in those kinds of cycles. But getting to your first 50K is very difficult. You're going to do a lot. You're going to do a lot of videos. You're going to do a lot of content creation. You're going to figure things out before you find your true brand voice, right? So make sure that you are creating a visually interesting experience for people. And if you cannot do that, it's okay. Use your words and make sure that we can see the finished product and we can see the process. I think a lot of people, because they want to show up looking perfect online, they don't want to show the process of how the makeup comes together. But trust me, people are not caring if you have a pimple. People are not caring, about much. They just want to see, does your makeup work? Can it give me the look that I desire? Yes? Another strategy that you can use is showing people the result and then taking them through the process. So say to them, did this cute look for date night, might delete later. Let me share the process with you guys, or let me give you the plug on how I made this look happen. And then you start your video and say, no, this is how we do da. And that one's a great one for makeup artists, right? And it's also a great one for actually makeup products, because what you can do is if you collaborate, let's say, with a makeup artist, because your page doesn't necessarily do content like that, then that person can say, create a great lip look with Rimmel, might delete later. Let me show you guys the process, right? So right there, we plugged your brand quickly. We see the beautiful finished product. So I want it, now I want to know how it happened. That's how it works. That's how you catch people's attention. People don't have the patience to wait for the end product a lot of the time. So sometimes showing them the finished product first makes them want to stay to see how to achieve it. Right. Bridget said something wonderful. She said, I tend to overthink content. That's my problem. You're right. That is a problem. Don't overthink your content. Just do it. One day, take your camera at home and just film. You don't have to post it, but film. Get into the habit of filming. Because once you get into the habit of filming, you'll start to realize that, okay, I'm doing this and I'm wasting my time. I need to do something with the stuff that I've recorded. Let me just post it and see what happens. Do not be afraid of people's judgment online. Trust me, it's very fickle and it's incredibly temporary. It does not last. And I know you're thinking, but I'm running a business. Like, my business has a reputation. Yes, it does. But people will judge the success of your business based on how many followers your business page has. A lot of the time, people don't even consider how somebody got the followers that they got. A lot of the time, people don't even consider if somebody has fake followers or real followers. They're just looking at those numbers and thinking, this is a popular brand or this is not a popular brand based on the numbers. So you can either sit with your brand that nobody knows, or you can participate in the game. That's the harsh truth of it. You can sit with a brand that nobody knows, or you can participate in the game. So participate. Nobody will remember the flops that you made. Trust me. And even if they do, you could use that virality to get more followers, to get more people to buy your stuff. There are always opportunities online, trust me. When they say there's no such thing as bad PR, that statement can work for social media, because you can find ways to leverage off of virality. And I mean, what is the worst that you can do with your beauty brand? As long as you're not being, exclusionary and racist and those kinds of things, you honestly will be okay trying things and flopping, looking a bit silly and flopping. It's not going to hurt your business and your brand the way that you think it will. Let me read some of your comments before I continue. Paul says, I've seen people buy in when they see the process. Yes, they love the process. So you can do either finished result and then process, or you can do let's do a date night look without showing them the finished result, and then you do the process and then show them the finished result. You'll have to see what works best for your audience, because it also depends on the kind of creator you are or the kind of brand your business is. And that will determine whether people like the before and then after with you, or the after and then before. But process is very important. The reason why process works on social media, especially on TikTok, is because it humanizes a business page. It allows people to feel like you're not lying to them and just trying to sell them a product and you're saying it's great, but they don't know why and how, right? So when you show them the process, you're showing them that this is actually how it works. Like, we're not lying to you. Look, we're doing this, and yeah, we're done. It works. That's what showing process does. It humanizes a brand online. It humanizes a creator online. It makes you seem more honest. It makes you seem more transparent. And people appreciate that because they don't want to spend their hard-earned money on things that don't work. So that's why process works so well. Zandila says, perfectionism is the devil. I always want my content to be perfect. You don't need it. You don't need it to be perfect. Trust me. You know, another way or tactic that you can use for your content that a lot of beauty people don't know, especially beauty brands, is plugging into lifestyle. I've seen a lot of great beauty content creators who will show you their lifestyle instead of actually showing you a lot of the beauty. But when they show you the beauty, you want to see how they got all the looks they achieved in their lifestyle, that you're hooked onto their content. Somebody who does this is Mihlali, right? She doesn't really do a lot of makeup videos anymore. What she does is show you her lifestyle. She shows you her looks. You see them. They look very nice on Instagram. And then by the time she releases a video, you want to know how she achieved it. So if you are a makeup artist or a beauty content creator, it's great for you if you've got a beautiful lifestyle to show that. And then sometimes show people the process of how you achieved that lifestyle look, right? Because that is something that a lot of people play into. If you're speaking to a market, let's say, of busy professional women, they are not going to be able to sit and watch a beauty vlog for an hour. They don't have the time. Some of them don't even have the interest because it's just not what they want to do, but they know that they have to look nice to go to work and they feel like they have to put on makeup. So chances are you will get their attention by showing them things that they care about, which might be lifestyle, because maybe they are earning enough to go on holidays and buy things. So when they go onto your page as the creator, they go, oh, this person goes on nice holidays. No, 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 no. And then they have such nice looks. Oh my God, I want the scoop on the look. Right? So it really has to be something that is true to you as the person who's creating the page. You know, do you want to be more brand focused, where you are appearing as the brand, or more creator focused, where you're appearing more as the person? But either way, giving people an insight into how, which could be the lifestyle or the process, is what will make your content click online. Akua says, Lebo, my ideas for a hair salon that, any ideas for a hair salon that sells hair? Sure, it's exactly the same thing. You know, another tactic you guys can use when you're creating content online, because I'm seeing that, I want to go on to more things, but I'm seeing that the issue a lot of us are having in this life is that we don't know what kind of content to create, right? I'm getting the sense that that's the presiding challenge that a lot of people are having. Okay, if you don't know what content to create, and you're sitting here on this live and saying, I can hear what Lebu's saying, but I still don't know where to start, that's okay. Then I recommend that you need to go on social media and be a consumer of what you sell. So before you start creating the content, before you move in any further, give yourself a week and literally search for people who are selling what you sell. Search for people who are adjacent to that. Search for the creators in that industry and watch their content. What you will find is that there will be similarities in certain trends that they're all using. Because what social media does to galvanize community and to build community is that they will have challenges over time. right? So maybe this week there's this other challenge. The challenge lasts for 3 weeks, and then boom, another challenge comes. And in those challenges, you will see what kind of content is converting at the time. Now, am I saying be trends driven? Absolutely not. But getting an insight into those challenges helps you understand the market, how they speak, and what they like, right? So one of the challenges that you see a lot of the time for hair, or trends that you see for hair pages, is that they love to do the process thing, the before and after. So they show you the person coming in, and then they show you how they install that person's hair at the hair salon. Those videos, I have never seen a page where that doesn't work, because we want to see the transformation, right? I mean, I'm buying this hair, it's extremely expensive, it's thousands of rands. I need to see that it's gonna make me look like Beyonce. So you have to show us, and show us not only that it can make a person look like Beyonce, but show us the added benefits of us coming to your salon instead of somebody else's. Is there good service? Do I have, a great place to sit where I get offered champagne and an iPad where I can watch shows that I like? What is the other value add other than the hair? People tend to make high purchase decisions when experience is attached to that purchase. So yes, I could just buy a hair for 5,000 rands, but I could also buy an experience with that 5,000 rands hair, and I'll probably buy the hair that gives me that experience because I'll feel like I'm getting more for my money. Right? I'm getting more value. I can brag about it. Oh my gosh, I bought my weave, and when I bought it and I was waiting, they gave me champagne and they gave me a massage. So you have to think about what are the other value adds and how am I communicating them online. Aesthetics do not sell unless aesthetics are communicating the experience. And a lot of people don't understand that. Aesthetics do not sell on their own. Aesthetics only sell if they're communicating the experience. Even when you look on TikTok, pretty girls who are pretty on Instagram, don't necessarily just win on TikTok. A lot of them are struggling. Influencers from Instagram who have to migrate to TikTok or start opening TikTok accounts, a lot of them struggle where they were not struggling creating beauty content on Instagram or fashion content. And the reason why is because TikTok requires that humanness. So you can't just be a pretty girl. What else? You get me? So let's say I want to be I'm a pretty girl and I share makeup or skincare. I can't just go online and do that anymore, on TikTok and do that. I need to tell a story. Oh, guys, today I've got a breakout because, bad relationships. Don't date guys who are not your type. Let's get into my skincare routine while I tell you why I made a big mistake. You have to start doing things like that. And I'm sure you guys even want to know who I'm talking about now, just from me giving you that example. Do you understand? It's the storytelling. It's not necessarily that the person is pretty or that the place looks nice. That seldom works unless you have a brand that's big enough to leverage off of that, right? Like a Kifi Boo. But even she will tell stories sometimes. Even she will put in a bit more effort than Instagram because people need to get the context. So when you struggle giving context, maybe you're not a storyteller. Maybe you feel like you're not a personality. What you can do to create context in your videos is use audio. Sorry guys, I've got the flu. You can use audio. Audio contextualizes content. Yes, it's also a great SEO tool because when you're using audio, it's the same as a hashtag. Your video gets put into the same community of people who are using that audio. So everybody who's using that audio gets to see your video and their followers get to see your video too. But also it contextualizes content. So if you have a makeup brand and you want to tell people that actually my makeup makes you look beautiful, find an audio that says, she ate. 4 + 4 is 8. And all you're doing is doing the makeup look, right? So what does that do? It contextualizes the value of your product without you saying anything because maybe you don't know how to communicate other than to show the makeup. I hope that you guys are understanding. And that's what I'm saying. Content creation is a process. It's not something you're going to get right the first, second, third, 10th time. You have to figure out what you like on the platform, what is easy for you to do, what you find exciting to do. And also remember, when you're growing on TikTok, you're not getting followers, you're getting a community. TikTok has one of the most loyal follower bases you will find. in my experience. So when people follow you, they're following you because they're saying, this thing deeply resonates with me. This brand, this person deeply resonates with me, and I want to form a deeper relationship with them. When I go on my TikTok, I expect to see one of their videos because I know their personality. I know that they do great looks, or I know that they tell me great stories, or I know that they give me the best recommendations. Whatever the case may be, people have that relationship with you on TikTok. So what you don't want to do is to create content that isn't on par with your community. And what do I mean by that? I mean that when you're creating content for your TikTok, listen to the feedback people give you. They'll tell you, oh my gosh, I love it when you say this and this. I love it when you tell us stories. I love it when you do XYZ. When they say I love it, double down on those things. Do more of that because that's the value they're finding on your page. And then you will see more like-minded people coming and following you because they feel the same way. Do you understand? Let me see some of the comments. Bridget says a lot of American girlies incorporate their lifestyle into their businesses. Absolutely. In fact, it's becoming a global trend now. People in the business space, so let's say you're a corporate girly, you still show your lifestyle. You're a public speaker and whatever thought leader like me, you show your lifestyle. A lot of people are moving into the lifestyle realm because it retains more attention than just being blatant about what you have to give. People like the lifestyle. Lisa K says, my MUAs, do you have the app most MUAs use to edit their work? That's a controversial one, you know. I know a lot of makeup artists use apps to edit their work, and that's okay. But what I will say to you is don't overdo it. Because the customer dissatisfaction that's going to happen when somebody comes to you and they don't look like those videos is going to be high. And when you have high customer dissatisfaction, they're probably likely to go on social media and show people that you lied. So you want to be able to manage reality and fantasy. Don't overdo the editing. Don't overdo the fantasy because you'll have to maintain it even when they come to you. And you won't be able to do that with everybody. Akuna says, thanks. Akua says, thanks, Lebo. My pleasure. Z says, this is so informative. Yep. Z says, Lisa, I believe in posting your work as it is. I don't edit. So this is controversial, but I think you should edit. The thing about social media is that there is an element of fantasy attached to it. There is an element of surrealism attached to it, and maybe I'm romanticizing this, right? But let's be honest. When you look at a billboard, when you're driving down the road and you see a billboard, that billboard hasn't just been made, they edited things. When you're watching a TV ad, they edited things. When you look at a picture, it's been edited. Most things that are put out, collateral that's put out for human consumption, has been edited, and it needs to be edited to attract the person. Don't overly moralize editing. Editing is a good thing. There's a reason why we have different colors that we use. There's a reason why we want some things to be brighter and some things to be darker. There's a reason why we use shadows. All of these things matter. Every single company edits their work, right? But it's the level of editing that we need to be worried about, not necessarily the editing. You cannot just put anything out there without editing it. I know I said come as yourself, come and be as authentic as possible, but authenticity must still be appealing. Especially because you're selling beauty. And what is beauty? What is beauty? At the end of the day, beauty is what you see. We can say that it's all about the inside, but people don't see your insides. They see the outside. So there still needs to be an element of editing in everything. There still needs to be an element of putting in a little bit of effort. I mean, I put in effort. I'll put on my hair. Maybe I'll, put on some concealer somewhere. But there's still a little bit of effort because when I edit myself, right, and I'm going to use it in the context of this conversation, then I'm attracting more of the people who want to believe in me. And I'll give you greater context in what I mean by that. When you like somebody online, when you like a brand online, you want to boast about it, which means you want to show it off to the people that you know. If it does not have some kind of aesthetic appeal, you're not going to feel confident showing it off because it doesn't look like something to show off. which is why even personal brands, people who are creators, they look nice. Why? They have to edit themselves so that they can be appealing for the person who's proud to follow them, so that person can share them with others. So there is an element of editing that is needed in everything. Everything you see that's produced in media, offline, with traditional media, or online with new media, something's been edited, always. Whether it's a filter that's put on the video, whatever, something's been edited. And you need to do that if you want to be able to compete properly online. That is just the truth. Some people won't like it, but that is the truth, right? And there are subsets where people will just show literally their full face. You see all their pimples, you see everything. That's fine if you're selling skincare, right? That's great. But even people who sell skincare will use a filter that makes the pimples not look as harsh. Because remember, the camera makes things look super harsh. And when people see these harsh things, they also kind of, step back and don't want to interact with the content. So you have to soften things just a little. We're not saying don't show the pimples. We're not saying make the pimples look nice, but soften it so that people can engage with the content, so that it's not too harsh. Denise says, I am field marketer and I'm very good on ground. I love interacting with people since marketing has drifted into digitalization. I'm struggling on socials. Any tips for me? I am a vibe. Okay, so I would give you tips, but I'm going to do another live masterclass for people in the services industries, especially in corporate services. So like marketing, HR, how do you build your brand online? How do you build your pages online? This one is specifically for people in the beauty industry. Lisa K says, Lebo, is there psychology behind why people that know you don't support as much as strangers do? There actually is a psychology. There are many schools of thoughts about that. But you know what? I think what we don't tend to understand as business people is that your family, friends, colleagues are not necessarily your customers. If you had to be very objective about your business and say, who is it for? And then look around you and ask yourself, with the people around me, would they want this service? Like, is it for them? Do they really care about this generally in life? Even if I wasn't offering it, would they care? Right? So you need to start seeking, and I'm saying this quite liberally, but the only attention you should be caring about is attention from the people who actually need and want your service or your product, because they're the ones who are going to pay you consistently over time. Once-off purchases from family members just to show support is nice, but it's not going to do anything for your brand growth. It's not going to do anything for your market share. Let's be honest. Like, I'm not even saying this from I'm trying to be tough. I don't care what people think. I'm being honest. Like, they're not going to contribute to my market share really. They're not going to help my business become a listed company. No, because they don't see the need for the product. I want to engage with that person who sees a need, who says, when this brand launches a new lipstick, I'm buying. When this brand says we're going to Durban, we go. When this brand, that's the person I'm interested in. And so I've been able to do entrepreneurship much easier because my focus has shifted to value hubs. My customers are valuable to me. My prospective customers are valuable to me. My prospective investors are valuable to me. The market is valuable to me, not my family members. They don't care about what I'm selling because they don't need it. Right? Start to shift your focus so that you're focusing on the right things, the things that actually bring results into your business, that impact the existence of your business. Your family members don't. Bridget says, how long should the video be, or should one do it in parts? My attention span is short, so I wouldn't want someone to lose interest. So create videos that you would watch in the beginning. Then once you've created at least 10 of them, look at your insights and look at the drop-off rate, the point at which people stop watching your videos. You will see they give you this thing and it looks like a chart. There'll be a peak. It will show you the peak at which people are watching your content and the peak at which people drop off your video. Use that drop-off number as the duration that you should be creating your videos for. So that's why everybody's number is different, because it depends on their insights. Why? Because your insights are customized for your content. Lebo can do a 10-minute video. Some people watch my 10-minute videos. But there's some people who can't even do a 2-minute video because their audience does not resonate with that. So that's why we say first produce the content, test it in the market. The same kind of content, guys, remember. So don't do this thing that a lot of business owners make. It's a very big mistake. Don't do too much content, too many different kinds of content at the beginning or at the same time. Choose. I'm going to tell stories while putting on makeup. Do 10 of those videos. Then check the results of those 10 videos. Check the insights. If it is not working, then pivot to another one. Then do 10 of them. Check the insights. If it works, then you stick to it. If it doesn't work, pivot to another one. But if you keep doing different things at the same time, you can't measure what's working and what isn't. And then it becomes difficult for you to keep going because you don't know what worked, but you have one viral video. So in order to know what worked, you need to be patient and try different content types and then look at the insights, right? But if you've already started and you've had some viral videos, but you still don't know which content works the best, look at your insights. Your insights are there to guide you. Look at who's watching, where are they from, what is their gender, how long are they watching. Look at the comments, what are people saying? Is it mainly positive or is it mainly negative? Then you take that and you decide, do I want to continue with this kind of content or do I want to go in a different direction? Do I have a captive audience? Maybe they're not that sure about my content, but they're there for me. You can see that in the engagement. Ask them, guys, what would you like to see from me? Too many people think followers are ghosts. They think followers are just these like robots that are there and the numbers keep going up. No, followers are people. So ask the people, what do you want from me? What would you like to see more of? And you'll be shocked at how people engage in you asking them questions. But content doesn't have to be the scary thing for you on TikTok. It doesn't have to be this thing that stops you from doing anything. In fact, content is the vehicle to growth on TikTok. So make sure that you invest most of your time in creating content and analyzing your content. And this live is actually supposed to end soon, but I want to quickly touch on other points because we've spoken a lot about content. Guys, when you have the right content, now you've created the right kind of content, it's working for you, and you've got momentum going. Please have a sales runway. What does this mean? It means when people see your content and engage with it and follow you, they're going to obviously ask themselves, because your content is so good and they want something from it, how can I get this product? How can I contact this person to get their services? So when they ask those questions, you need to have the answer. That is the sales runway. You must ask yourself when you're creating your page, when my ideal customer asks me where they can buy from me or where they can find me, how do I answer that question? Where do I lead them? This is where WhatsApp comes in and a website comes in. You guys have seen my videos on TikTok. I am pro websites. I think websites are great because they can facilitate the entire sales process for you. And all you have to do is say to somebody, click the link in my bio and you can go onto my website and buy my products. Wonderful. But if you're somebody who uses WhatsApp only, that's fine. Then say to people, either at the end of your videos or write it in your caption somewhere and say to people, to book my services, contact me on WhatsApp. It's called the CTA, call to action. Your videos need to have a CTA. Your CTA is designed to get people to get onto your sales runway. When people get onto your sales runway, it means they're getting closer and closer to converting, not only from being an audience member or community member, but to being a sale, a real customer. And a lot of people in the beauty world I've seen don't invest enough on that sales runway. And they don't have a call to action in their videos. Book me for makeup for your wedding by contacting me on WhatsApp. The number's down below. Or you can find our website, go to our website, www.beautybeauty.com, and you can get all your lipstick shades for free, for half the price. You need a sales runway. Because if you're just creating content and there's no way people can go afterwards, that means you don't have a strategy. So by virtue of being a business online, my assumption is you have a strategy. Your strategy is, I want to sell to people. I want to grow my market share. I want my brand to be known. Whatever the case may be, that's your objective. Then you have a strategy that leads you to your objective. So that sales runway leads people to achieving that objective that you have. Without it, you might think you have bad content when actually you just don't have a call to action, or you don't have a successful sales runway that allows you to catch the demand. You need to catch your demand. With the content I do on TikTok, and I talk about marketing, I could be talking about juice, I can be talking about a TV show, I can be talking about marketing itself, but I will get at least 10 emails from one video. I will get at least 80 website clicks per video, at least on a bad day. Right? So I have a few sales runways for people that allows them to go off of TikTok onto the platform that allows them to see my services and engage with it. Emails are good because then it means people are asking questions. Website clicks are good because it means that people are listening to your CTA, and your CTA is effective enough to get them to get off the platform to go onto your website or whatever the case may be. That's how you judge how you easily convert your audience into customers. Profuse Beauty says, we don't see your insides. Insights. No, Ntogozo says, Lebo, what happens when people save your content on TikTok? When people save your content on TikTok, you get pushed by the algorithm to be seen by more people. So when people share, save, comment, like your content, TikTok sees that as, oh, this is interesting content for people, so we're going to show it to more people. You want people to save your content. You want them to like, you want them to engage, you want them to share, you want them to repost, you want them to do all the things, you want them to stitch it. That's how you know that the app will boost your content even more. Strick says, you attracted me to subscribe just now. Voila. Voila. Clever, clever, clever. Dino says, why do I get more likes than followers? It means that while they may find what you're showing a little bit interesting, it's not enough for them to be part of your community. So maybe your content might be lacking depth, or it might be too long, or it might not be aesthetic enough, or it's not believable enough. So those are the things. Look at your insights on your TikTok. It will answer that question for you. Nelly Siwa says, hi Lebo, would you kindly share examples of lifestyle content ideas for a hair salon business, a hair salon business wanting to show up as the brand instead of as an individual creator? So lifestyle would be for a hair salon, indicators of the kind of customer you have. That's one example. So let's say you're a high-end hair salon and all of your customers drive Range Rovers, they have Louis V Neverfalls, and right? You show that about them before you're showing their hair. So you're basically saying to people, geez, this is the lifestyle of the people who come to my hair salon, right? Obviously, then you're creating your brand to be aspirational. You're also excluding a large portion of the market because not everyone's going to be able to afford, because they're going to assume, well, if I don't have those things, then maybe I don't fit in, or if I'm not in that tax bracket or whatever, I don't fit in. But that is showing lifestyle. Do you get me? So you wouldn't be showing lifestyle the same way a content creator would, but you would show lifestyle by showing how your customers live, how your clientele live, through small things like their material possessions, for example. Tracy says, so many gems from this masterclass. I'm so glad. Kennedy says, I keep on saying, I'll ask my followers that, but I keep postponing. Ask them. Guys, get on the Zoom. Get on the TikTok. Okay? Literally just get on it. Press record and go for it. You will be shocked at what happens when you just get on it. Get on it. Even if you are seasoned, get on it. You want to get to a higher number, do more. Or refine it and do less. That gets you more. Look at the insights. If you are running a business, you cannot run a business without looking at the insights. That's your report. That's your social media report. The same way you would have a sales report, the same way you would have any other report, you should be looking at all the reports of all the different activities of your business. So if you're not looking at your insights, you're playing. You're using social media as if you are, there for fun. And you're not there for fun. You're there to make money. And let me tell you guys before I end this live, and we will do probably another one because there's so many things we didn't get to cover. TikTok, of all the social media platforms I've used, and I've been monetizing online for 7 years. I have been monetizing online for 7 years. Let that sink in for you guys. I have been monetizing online for 7 years. Before it was popular, I was the first African female on the iTunes Top 100 charts before podcasting was even popular in South Africa and the African continent. I've been making money from my podcasts since episode 2, 7 years ago. When I tell you that of all of the platforms I have monetized from, TikTok is the best monetization tool I have come across to date. To date. When I tell you that TikTok is the best social media monetization tool I have come across in the 7 years I've been doing this, you are sleeping if you're not making money on TikTok. You are sleeping if you're not getting customers on TikTok. Because it is so easy to do once you get your rhythm. I don't know how to, I wish I could scream it to the rafters. You can easily make $100 a week from TikTok doing the bare minimum. Bare minimum. So if you want to make sales for your beauty brand, if you want to build brand, I would say you can even delete all the other social media platforms and just have TikTok, a website, and WhatsApp, and you'll see flames. That's how much I believe in TikTok as a monetization tool. That's how much I believe in TikTok as somebody who's monetizing from TikTok, and all the ways you can monetize from TikTok as an African person. I'm monetizing. And I'm in a sector that's really tricky. Compared to beauty, this is really tricky. What I would do with a beauty brand. What I would do with a beauty brand. These face beads, guys, don't sleep. Don't sleep. I'm giving you another tip. You see people like me, we're here with our makeup, we're doing our hair, we're doing videos, we're already monetizing, selling services. What do you think we'll be doing in the future? Get on your Zoom before we get on your Zoom, okay? Get on your TikTok before we get on your TikTok and we start opening beauty businesses, because it's just too easy, because we know how to sell on TikTok. Competition is wild, especially in the beauty industry. This, right now, it's probably the easiest it will ever be for you to build your brand and sell on TikTok before they come hit us with heavy regulation, heavy everything. We're already paying tax. Some of us are already paying tax for monetizing on TikTok before it even hits our accounts in South Africa. So I can't imagine the kind of regulation that's going to come once they see that a lot of people are monetizing from TikTok in Africa. And when I say I mean like money. You know what I mean? So please don't sleep on TikTok. Work on your TikTok. Facebook, for me, it only works because we're in Africa. To be honest, and I'm saying this, with all due respect, I really believe that the newer generations don't care about Facebook. I think Facebook is a little bit boring to use, but it is still a good sales tool. I can't lie and say that it doesn't work. But TikTok, let me tell you something about TikTok. Okay. Take it from somebody who's not just teaching you guys, I am monetizing TikTok. I've monetized every single social media platform I've been on. And I've never had 1 million followers. I think the most followers I have is on TikTok. You know, don't sleep on your ability to have customers and make a lot of money just by virtue of building your brand and creating content on a social media platform. As this is speaking rands lives, Remember, when you monetize from social media platforms, you get paid in dollars. So if you're, I'm giving away too many tips, but the exchange rate is going to determine the value of your rand. And you can decide when the rand hits your account, which means by virtue of just knowing how the market works, you could actually make more from that $100. I don't know. If you're hearing me, you're hearing me. If you're not hearing me, you're not hearing me. Okay. Guys, thank you for tuning in. We will definitely do a part 2 because I missed a few things that I would have really liked to cover with you in terms of that sales runway and other things that you need to just be thinking of when you're creating your business on TikTok. I want you guys to win. I'm giving you these things for free in return for subscriptions. All I'm asking for are subscriptions on my YouTube channel. I want to build something really beautiful on YouTube for everybody who is an entrepreneur and doesn't have the kind of access to resources that I might have, or just the knowledge. And I really think that we can build a beautiful Africa if we just come together and build businesses that work. That's all. I want to see you win. I want to work with you. I want you to work with me. Let's build, guys. Let's stop competing. It doesn't make any sense. I'm all about collaboration. I will continue to give free masterclasses. I would love for you guys to come to EIM because we do even more than what we've done here. Like, what we've done here is great, but what we do at EIM, the people who left said, I'm going to convert my business. The one person who came to EIM, which is my masterclass, Everything is Marketing Masterclass, it happened 2 weeks ago, on the 16th of March. And one of the guys who came, he literally said, I listened to everything you said. Lebo, we tripled our sales. I took everything you said at that masterclass and we tripled our sales. Because at the masterclass, I just give you everything. So let's build, guys. Let's collaborate. Let's, I know some of you have contacted me about brand partnerships and I will get in touch. Please email me. DMs are so terrible with me. info@lebolion.com. You're probably going to succeed more than if you DM me. I do not really respond to a lot of DMs. But I am open to a few collaborations. Not a lot, a few. And that will be based on, for me, being able to assess your business and to see if I'm collaborating with a business that's really put some skin in the game. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking just to collaborate with a business that has just started, where there isn't a real plan. I want to know that you've got your foot in the game. You've got your neck in the game. You've put in a lot of resources, and I'm just coming to add, because those are the businesses that are committed to being here no matter what. I love you all. Thank you. And I'm going to see you very soon, maybe next week, on another masterclass on YouTube. I'm going to be hosting these weekly or bi-monthly, so twice a month or 4 times a month, and it'll be for different industries. So tell your friends, everybody, sign up. My apologies. I think this is better than me pre-recording videos for you. I think this is nice because we get to interact, we get to talk, which is similar to a TikTok or an Instagram live. And I think this works. Also, what I'm going to do, I think because this is fun, for the next one, I'm putting it out there. I want 2 beauty brands who will email me. And I will get my makeup artist to use your product on my face for the next live. So email me. If you will send us your product, I will mention your product and show what it is on the masterclass, and that's my promise to you. So email me, let me know. I like lipstick, so I like bold lipsticks, and I also like nude. What else do I like? I like hair. I mean, I'm a hair girly. I'm happy to do hair partnerships. You don't even have to tell me twice. I will wear your hair. With the hair partnerships, I won't lie, I would probably even do it on TikTok for free. Where if you send me a beautiful wig and you've got good service, I'm ready to do your hair because you guys know my videos always have hair, darling. Ha. Ha. So I'm very happy to collaborate with hair brands. They're right up my alley, to be honest with you. But with makeup, I will definitely get my makeup artist to use your product on me, and then I will show your product in the live so that people can see it. Guys, enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe. Take these tactics and strategies, employ them. I want you to DM me. I want you to email me and give me your results in the next 2 to 3 weeks, because that's how quick it should be. You should be able to see change within the next 2 to 3 weeks. If you don't, change your strategy. Change your strategy. Go to my TikTok page. Look at the videos that I've shared. Go back and do what I've told you, and you will win. Okay. Hey, Zandida says lashes, babes. Me and lashes addiction. Anything, honestly, makeup related hair, I'm addicted. I have people who will do it on me. They'll put it on me for me, but I make sure that I'm the one who purchases, and I'm very specific about products and suppliers because I care about it. You know, guys, I'm going to love and leave you. Email me info@lebolion.com. Comment on the videos on TikTok. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let me know what kind of content you want on this YouTube channel, and we're going to go for it. Until next time, happy building.